Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Hey, what's up? I'm the Trash Bird, and today I want to be talking about Invincible, the TV show that's on Amazon. Everyone's probably talking about it by now since it's about 2 weeks old, and I'm a bit late to the party. But guess what? It doesn't matter because Invincible, what do I think about it? It's okay. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. There's a lot to like and there's a lot to dislike about the show, and seeing how this show's already been out for a while, there will be spoilers in this discussion. First off, let's talk about the show's plot. It's about a team named Mark Grayson learning to become a superhero and understanding what it means. He goes through the hero's journey and understands not everything on TV is as clean as it is in real life, while trying to compromise high school and being a superhero. While that's going on, there's a bunch of murders that occurred and everyone's trying to figure out who done it. The show has a lot of heart and themes about that mimic other superhero shows and comics. It takes those concepts and turns it into real life situations and turns them into real life situations whereby they become very real to like a lot of heart, like I said before. A lot of discussion from the show comes from its animation. It could be better sometimes. Some characters look super awkward when they're flying or just outright walking, but generally it's fine. It's pretty good. You won't really notice or remember how awkward the animation is if all you're gonna do is try to have a good time. But to be honest, the animation is being like so much better than anything like DC anime movies have put out. I don't know what's wrong with those animations, but for some reason, like The Killing Joke, everyone's like saying that movie was perfect in its animation. No, it wasn't. The animation was like 3 frames, like 15 frames per second sometimes. Like you do a movement and it's like that. Like while this show's animation was very smooth, the quality of the animation wasn't that great. I do hope in the next season they amp up the animation quality, and I don't mean the style. I actually do enjoy the style of the show. It reminded me of old 2000 superhero cartoons like Teen Titans, Spectacular Spider-Man, Batman Brave and the Bold, and just like all 3 shows, Invincible has a wide variety of characters to match with their own interesting backstory and history on why they're a superhero. But another aspect of why I like Invincible's art style so much is for his color theory and how so many characters have bright colors mimicking that of the old shows. So when watching it, it really does remind me of those old cartoons, but unlike those cartoons, Invincible takes a twist and breaks away from the childlike nature of what being a superhero means. Instead, heroes go through journeys and they will see innocents die. They will have to come to terms with what being a superhero means. It's not all fun and games. Instead, it's a serious business, and Invincible takes those themes and turns it into an adult comic slash show, and it really works. So when blood and gore are shown in the show, it kind of throws you for a loop. In my case, I didn't even know what Invincible was, and I didn't know what the rating was at the same time. I just ignored the rating for Amazon. So at the end of episode 1, it really threw me across the room. It was so jarring to see such bright, colorful characters die on the spot with blood and guts being thrown everywhere. It was honestly so radical, I loved it. The music for the show is also so superb. I like it a lot, as do I with the theming of the show. And as for the show, it really has a heartfelt meaning behind it and themes. And you understand the struggle Mark goes through as a hero, and you understand the pain the other heroes are fighting for as they try to make the earth a lot better place. Trying to fight those villains, trying not to kill them, trying to put them in prison, but then there's other heroes and other villains that are killing heroes and villains. And it's really cool how both intertwine, and how the voice cast really matches that same fidelity. Everyone nails the characters perfectly, and each one was perfectly cast. With J.K. Simmons being Omni-Man himself, it was so cool to see him again in something, and not just a live-action movie. Or show, I guess. However, there are aspects of the show where it's really bad, and I honestly think almost everyone can agree is due to the character Amber something, I forget her second name, the love interest. She really drags the show down more so than it needs to. So what is a character is another section of the show. So this whole section is going to be a little bit long. So I'm just going to let you know, if you haven't seen the show yet, since I didn't really spoil anything, or if I did spoil it, I'm sorry. I would suggest do watch it or read up with the comics, because a lot of the stuff in the show they did change, right? They didn't change too many things. They changed a few things, and a lot of things they changed for a lot better. But one of the worst things that changed was Amber's character. I know she's given the character this time around, but she's honestly just the worst. Debbie, for my example, is such a better character in the show than she was in the comics. In the comics, she's a nobody, right? She's just drinking away like for the first like 7 issues or whatever, and like all this like stuff about a murder, like nobody knew what was going on. It was just kind of glossed over in the comic book. In this show, it really gives you, it encapsulates you in that mindset of you're living in a real world with superheroes, and you understand like how everyone stands like on who did it, why did they do it, how do we figure out who did it, and then there's just so many different things about this world that's super cool. And it's not like the boys, whereby the boys is like almost everyone is evil in the boys. In this show, almost all the heroes are heroes. It's just that you gotta understand where they come from and why they do the things they do. In the boys, more or less, like everyone's just sort of evil, I guess. Not really, but everyone kind of just has like a super dark past in the boys. Whereas in this show, it just seems like all the heroes just want to save the world and want to help people, more or less. So with that out of the way, I want to finally talk about what is a character. I won't delve into everyone, but the ones I found most interesting and the ones I had the most issues with. In addition to that, if you made it up to this part, just know that this is going to be the most lengthy part of the whole video. Also, if I had to give the show a rating because you don't want to know about the characters, well, I'll say the show gets an easy 7 out of 10. It would be an 8 or even a 9 if Amber wasn't there. And if you want to hear my rant about Amber, continue watching. Anyway, so besides Mark growing as a character and understanding what it means to be a hero comes Team Teen, or Teen Team, or the new Justice League team. Each character slowly learns what it means to be a hero through visceral brutality, and even though they might not win every time, each loss makes the team slowly understand where they stand in the hero community. It's really cool to see the team go from slowly a bit of dickish to slowly like becoming super cool and together to understand what it means to be a hero community, and how each of them have their own abilities that can need help each other to like help other people and civilians and so on. So it's really cool. I like it. Anyway, Mark's best friend William is gay, and the show constantly keeps reminding you that he's gay, so don't forget it. He's not bad, he's just kind of there for the most part. He has no real impact on the story unless you look at one episode where he's trying to find his love interest, but that's it. Back to Mark. His dad's Nolan Grayson, who for the last 20 years or so is Earth's Planet Protector, and is Omni-Man, who's basically Superman. He's pretty cool, but as you go through the show, you learn more of his dark past and how he hides the truth on why he killed the Justice League, or whatever the show's version of them are. It's also pretty cool to see a Superman trying to teach his son how to use his powers, who just gained them so late in the show, or in terms of age, and trying to teach him what it means to be a superhero and how he comes to terms that Mark just got his powers. So he has to go slower, and you begin to see the two relationships grow with each passing episode and how it concludes at the end. Then we have Mark's love interest. We have Amber, who will be talked about later, but for now, Adam Eve. I like her. She's one of the most shows. What does that mean? I like her. She's one of the show's most prolific characters. You understand why her family acts in a certain way and why she wants to become a hero. And you learn why she has an interest in Mark, and for that matter, she wants to save the world with him. And she has problems, and you can dissect her in a way where it becomes really interesting to see their relationship grow as she understands boundaries and the truth of being a real hero. Because she acts like a real person who just got the powers, but also at the same time understands that they want to save the world, but knows that being a superhero is also really hard, and it's not something that you can just like live off and tell yourself, oh, today I'm going to save some people. No, every day will be hard, and that's what I really like about her. And now, finally, we have Amber. Amber. Well, for Amber, it's nothing. She's literally the most white bread character. There's nothing about her that makes her stand out above the crowd unless you take her comment in episode 7, where she comes off as pretty much a whore. So to explain the character, this is all we know. From season 1, first off, she was supposed to be white, but someone thought, hey, let's make her black. Now, I'm not saying that's why Amber's bad, but that's a weird choice for a show that's animated, but it really doesn't matter. Color has no match on good writing. In which case, Amber doesn't have anything. This is everything we know about her. So during the first episode, Mark sees a bully, tries to go out with Amber. Oh, sorry, never mind. So during the first episode, Mark sees a bully trying to go out with Amber, but he's crossing her boundaries. Then as Mark stands up to him, the bully just beats up Mark, and this is before he got his powers, and so Amber kicks the bully in the balls. Then the second time with the bully, Mark gets his powers, he goes to school, finds the bully again, but this time he throws hands with him, but really he doesn't do anything. He lets the bully punch him over and over and wants to get punched harder and harder. Eventually the bully gets intimidated and runs off. So it's here where Amber starts simping for him, and eventually as the next day passes, she gives the bully her number, who supposedly is to give it to Mark because she blackmailed the bully, which is kind of messed up when you think about it. Anyway, Mark gets her number, and at some point he calls her. They go for a study date. Something comes up where he has to save the world. They chat for like 5 minutes. Oh, he leaves and comes back an hour later. They chat for like 5 minutes, and then they start making out. And then they're dating, I guess. I mean, that's kind of weird. What was the relationship there? What did we learn? Do we know that she was a good person? Do we know she was a bad person? All we knew is that she was simping for Mark, and then all of a sudden she's blackmailing some like bully guy to make him give the number to Mark. That's kind of messed up, but don't worry about it. It gets better. I mean, there's nothing to relationship, and as episodes continue, nothing really happens. It's just bland. The whole relationship is bland. Nothing even happens. Amber keeps dumping Mark throughout the show, but Mark's like, wait, I make up, Liz. She forgives him, and he keeps messing up because of hero business, so you kind of have to forgive him, but she doesn't know he's a hero, so it's like, will he tell her, will he not tell her? And it's kind of annoying, because like, just tell her already, bro, don't worry about it, she'll be cool with it. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Well, I do know, you'll find out. And all we know about Amber is she helps people in homeless shelters. She likes Mark, I guess. She's smarter than everyone else in the show. That's it. There's nothing more. She has no character development. She's honestly awful. She's just a plug-in for social justice warriors. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just it could have been done so much better. But as the show continues, you begin to hate her, especially after episode 7. So during episode 6, Amber, Mark, and William are hanging out. They get attacked by robot men or something along the lines. Then Mark disappears, becomes invincible, and takes them out, or really gets knocked out, and the robot man kills himself. So when Mark returns, Amber's like, where you at? Where you at, boy? You disappeared when we needed your help, and now you know. That's a perfectly reasonable response. I too will be mad at somebody if they ran off while we were in trouble with robot men. Oh, I should just add to this. They were in a high school, they were civilians, and so Mark kind of had to make sure the civilians were like A-okay, so he turned into Invincible by running off and coming back. So when he came back, he told her a lie, like, oh, I had to like save people or something along those lines. Anyway, I had to like not save people, I had more or less make sure everyone was okay, but she thought he was running away, and he doesn't really explain to her that he's invincible. Anyway, then later in the episode, she disappears to go to some party, ready to sleep with another guy, right there, right then. But that guy wasn't interested, so she was willing to kill the relationship right there and then. Just saying, the relationship was basically over by episode 7, and by episode 7, Mark tries to make it up to her. He reveals his identity as Invincible. And Amber, this bitch, says she knew. Like, what is going on? She knew apparently for 2 weeks, or the second time he transformed, or the second time he like became invincible while she was around. That is messed up. Hold up. So you knew that your boyfriend, Ghost of the Save the World, was invincible, saved your life during the attack, and you're still mad at him. What is going on? That is so messed up. And even after that, she tells him the relationship is over because he couldn't handle her knowing his secret. But it's like, if people found out, you'll be in trouble, bro. Not only that, though, the relationship is dead. Then we have the part where Mark and his dad are finally fighting, and Mark gets brutalized, right? But right after that, Amber runs right back to him. That is all sorts of messed up. Hey, I know your dad almost killed you. I know. And that I dumped you for a few days. But do you want to get back together now? Amber, you are messed up. You are the worst character of the show. Every time she's on the screen, she drags the show down. Like, stop it. Get out of here, Amber. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you, Amber. Get out. It's like that meme. Get out. Get out of my car. Get out of my show. Oh my goodness. Not only that, but if you look into her character, she is dimensional. She is the definition of a villain. She blackmailed a bully just so she could hook up with Mark. Then she uses that sympathy to try to get the viewers on her side and try to get Mark feel like bad for himself. But Mark saved people. You're right here complaining he didn't join you in the soup kitchen. Get out of here! She literally yelled at him for leaving when he was right there saving people from the Robomen, and she knew he was saving people. I don't understand. Oh my goodness. Okay, if you're a superhero, don't tell somebody you're a superhero after 3 months of being a superhero because you don't know the type of, you don't know the community like other, like veterans do. That's my biggest issue with it. Iris, you okay? Alright. She's so shitty though. Thankfully, eventually they're gonna break up and even him will get together and then we can finally have a good power couple. With that out of the way, I don't know what else to talk about this show. I really like oh my goodness, how do I forget about the best character in the show? Almost one of the best characters, Debbie. So this is like no script. I don't have any of the Debbie parts written down. But honestly, at first I really didn't like Debbie as a character. I thought she was kind of like one note. But as the show progressed, you slowly learn that Omni-Man, Mark's dad, and Debbie are both like in a constant not war, but more or less constant odds at trying to teach how Mark should be as a hero. Omni-Man more or less is like, look, I've been in this business for so long, don't do this shit, okay? Don't worry about it. And Debbie's like, look, every life matters. You can't just leave one life to die right there and then. Everyone matters. Like, humans, everything you do will come to terms with how you behave later on. And both of them are constantly at odds. And slowly, because of the murder, because of all the Justice League deaths Omni-Man did, more or less, it's really cool to see Debbie like slowly come in terms and see like how her husband like more or less murdered them. And slowly, like, there was one scene in the show, right? There was really cool scene whereby she tells Omni-Man, she tells the dad, hey, I need these groceries. So he sends him to different countries throughout the world, and then she times it. That is such a big brain move. That's so cool. And it's like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. To me, that was super crazy. And then like it was another thing, like how she was the one who figured out like Omni-Man killed like all the Justice League members. Like she was the one who found the suit. She was the one she got planted by Dark Blood or his name. I really like him. Unfortunately, he went away. He went away like episode 4 or 5. I really did like his character, but he really didn't do a whole lot when I look back at it. But he did plant the seeds inside of Debbie's mind, and once he planted the seeds, she became such a better character. She slowly doesn't believe Nolan. She notices the changes in him. She goes around, searches for clues. She goes, and that is how you write a good character. Because apparently in the comic book, she was just like a drunken mess, and later on she became a good character. But right now, she's like way better than her comic book counterpart. And that is how you write a good, strong, independent woman in these comic books. And in theory, you could say that's SJW too. You probably could. And I would argue, you could. It is. But at the same time, it was done so much better than how Amber was handled. Amber was handled so shitty. At least in the comic books, she was like nothing but she was nothing but like fluff. In this show, she's fluff, but added like some character, but she has no character. So I'm glad she's gone. I'm glad she's gonna go. I hope she's gone. I hope she never comes back. Other than that, that's it for me. I think my favorite character is Debbie, Omni-Man, Deb Mark, and then so and so. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I know the game. I know the video we're gonna be watching now is looks me playing Rainbow Six because I can't be bothered to edit this. I just really wanted to talk about the show, and I can't believe this took me about like 2 hours to write, even though it was just 3 pages. That's pretty dumb. Anyway, do take it and see ya.